Good evening and welcome back to Softball SA Premier League action. James Harris here, and joining me for tonight's big clash between Port Adelaide and the Hills Heat is Mark Cramp and Lee Hull. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, James. Good evening, Lee.
Good evening, James and Mark and everybody out there. It's a perfect night for the game tonight. No breeze, a little on the chilly side.
This is the first time for the 2021 season that we're going to see either of these sides. Hills Heat in fourth place and the Port Adelaide Magpies sitting undefeated, but they're half a game behind top of the table Sturt Falcons. They're sitting in second place. So always good to have a new team to talk about for a new season. So let's start it off with the current and reigning Cath Coral medalist, Johanna Grauer. She'll be pitching for the Port Magpies tonight.
Yeah, I saw her out there earlier on warming up, and she looks a little bit frazzled tonight. I think we noticed her coming in a little bit later than normal, and but got in there and got into a routine on the sideline.
And Lee, the rookie of the year of the Premier League last season, Charlize Callaghan. She's one of a few of the younger brigade in the Port team.
She is, James and Mark, and she's steadily going along, isn't she? Like you said to me about 2 seasons ago, she'll develop into an excellent player. And I will.
Their opposition tonight is the Hills Heat, led by Amber and Georgia Hood. They've been the best players for the Hills Heat since their inception a few years back. But the difference for 2021 is that Georgia Hood will be a regular in the midweek game. She would normally come up from Mount Gambier. Guys, thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to seeing Georgia tonight. She's batting 3. She's on the mound batting 3, so I'm excited. It's the first time I've seen her this season. I didn't get to see her much last year, Lee, because of the week night games, but she's quite good.
We'll get to her sister in a moment, Lee, who's batting is second in the Hills hitting so far this year with 5 hits. So let's go back to Georgia. 4 games, 6 hits. Thank you very much.
She's a dangerous batter, isn't she?
Absolutely, and that's why I bring it up. So we'll go to Amber Hood. She's behind the plate tonight, so she'll be catching. We've seen her a little bit at shortstop so far this year because the Hills get a lot of plays. Danny Perez holds down that position tonight, so the captain of the team should be calling the game from behind the plate.
Well, both Hood sisters, like you just said, 6 hits and 5 hits. That's a pretty good combination to get out of the 2 girls at the start of the season.
Yes, they give you plenty, don't they, for the team, and the other girls just lift around them, don't they, when they're both going well, both Georgia and Amber.
Well, they're pretty much leading the league besides Sturt, who have played the extra game, of course. They're with Belle White and Ada Caruana with 6 hits each so far. They've played 5 games. Hills Heat have only played the 4 games. So they'll have a test tonight against Yo Grauer. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good game. Any predictions, guys?
Well, I just had a bit of an off-air discussion with Leah. I think Port Adelaide, what did I say, 3-1? 3-1, yeah.
And I thought Port Adelaide 4-2. And James, you got a thought on it?
I don't like to give my tips on air, Lee, but
No,
I reckon it'll be a tight game as well. Maybe even a draw.
Draw, okay then.
And Porter coming off a draw. Their only blemish so far for the season came on Saturday against Seacombe. 1-1 draw. That was the lowest scoring game of the year so far.
I saw that game and it could have gone either way. Seacombe had their chances late, as did Port in the last innings. But a 1-1 draw, I think, was a fitting result. It was a very tight game.
Well, I caught up with that game on iScore, James, sitting at home, and I couldn't believe it when I saw the final score, 1-1. I thought that was either a very, very good game by Seacombe, or obviously you can't tell, but or Port just were off their game. I'm not too sure. Where were we?
Credit to Seacombe. I was playing in the Hills. We don't have to talk about that, but you can ask Jared Farrell how I went on Saturday.
I heard the rumour, back-to-back bombs. Well done.
That's okay. Look, there's another game going on tonight. Kathy Lambert is back with the commentary team tonight. She's going to bring us some updates throughout the game live from Diamond 2, just via text message, of course. But then she's going to come and wrap up the game around about 5 minutes past the hour for this game. So about 9:05 she'll be in here. She'll take one of your spots. Gentlemen, I can speak to the mother-in-law and see how West Torrens are going against the Walkerville Cats. We are about to get underway. It's Amber Hood in the box. Joanna Grauer with the ball for the Magpies. Fires it inside for a ball, Lee. We can go around the Blues if you like.
I will, James.
Maybe after this pitch, Grauer gets her grip, her signal from Kara Tilton, who's behind the plate, playing outside.
So, the battery is Johanna Grauer to Kara Tilton at first, Tash Straps, second Megan Williams, third Charlize Callahan, Taylor Chillingworth comes in the shortstop, and the outfield left to right, Jess Nevis, Ella Forrester, Rain Menzies. So Rain gets a go out there, good luck to her.
That one's low and inside for a ball. I did ask for the umpires, Lee.
Did you ask for the umpires? Well, I can give them to you, James.
It's 3-0 at the moment, Lee, and I'll get you to give us the umpires in between batters. Good patient turn at bat from Amber so far, Mark.
I was just about to say, very good watching. She's very composed up there at the moment, isn't she? Grauer in her motion and throwing the ball hard, but just missing those corners. But Amber Hood standing tall in there.
3-1 count. Low for a ball, and first base runner for the Hills Heat, Lee.
Umpires for the game. On plate, one shaded grey, Ian. On first base, it's Neville, the treble half Lawrence. And at third base, it's the hyphenated Steve Wallace Yarra.
That almost filled the whole inning there, Lee. So who we got on deck now? Maddie
Rocha is in the box for the Hills Heat. Only a young player. She's been through the junior state teams. Came from Port Adelaide, went across to Seacombe. Got blooded by the Tigers in the A grade and then over to the Hills Heat. Lays down the bunt. Tash Straps will do the fielding at first and gets it across to Megan Williams for the first out. 3-4 for those scoring at home.
You'd like that, Lee. That was a good little play there. Advance the runner, get it down and draw the third base and draw shortstop in. But they covered in time.
Puts the runner in the scoring position. That's what the name of the game.
And you got one of the best hitters on deck now, or in the box. Well, you've said it first. So James, talk us through this one. This will be a good contest.
Yeah, Georgia's been seeing it well. She stands right at the front of the box, crushes this one to right field. Rain Menzies fields it, but she just hesitated there. If you get to see a replay on the throw in to the cutoff, Amber Hood didn't have to break stride and she crossed the plate easily. So an RBI single to Georgia Hood, her 7th hit of the season.
Unbelievable, and I was excited. I've actually got a couple of little goosebumps in there watching that, because that was a classic opposite side field hit, wasn't it? And it just advanced the runner. You made a very good point there, James. I'm sorry to harp on it, but she hesitated with that reload. You know she's going home, so you don't hesitate. And what you do is it lays the bunt down and rolls it across and advances Hood to second. That's the second. So that's the second out for the innings. But you're right. You don't hesitate. You know that runner's going. And you just throw it there automatically, don't you? Even if you don't, it holds her up anyway, doesn't it?
I wouldn't have let the bat, as I said, repeating the earlier message.
You were right.
So the 2 outs, both from sacrifice bunts. Lee, we were speaking earlier in the day. Have we lost the art of the sacrifice bunt? We haven't seen too many this season. And then 2 perfect examples here in the top of the first.
Of a quality pitcher like Yo.
We should go back to that play as well. Charlize Callahan at third base came charging in, and gee, she had a strong throw over to Williams covering at first. Chantel Lewis up to bat, swing and a miss, just under that one a little. Georgia Hood on second base. 0-2 count. What are the chances of it getting a big jump here, guys? Over at second. High for a ball.
Well held. You know, I reckon this will be the game for Lewis. She's only had 1 safe hit in the season so far. I don't know if she's played all games. It was in game 2. She got herself a safe hit. So she'll be looking to put bat on ball. And Scott won't mind if it's contact and to advance the runner. I know there's 2 down, but you want your players to get there. She drives that down to third. And we look at the 5-3 over, and she got bats a ball, and I like that. You know, in a different position or a different time, it would have advanced the runner. So you've got to look at that as a whole. Well done.
Well, Hills Heat draw first blood, so to speak. It's a green run. A single from Georgia Hood scoring Amber, who got on from a walk based on balls, and then she was advanced to second base by Maddie Rocha with that sacrifice bunt. So great start for the Hills Heat. Is that enough for them to get some momentum, maybe score another couple in the game, guys?
Well, you start with a run. It gives you a lot of confidence, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, you start with the first one. I mean, that's a pretty common, nonsensical sort of thing to say, but you start with that first run and then you build on it. Like I said, we say this all the time, that run means nothing unless you hold them now, does it, Lee? If they just get one run in, exactly right.
We'll go with the Hills Heat have got 5 warm-up pitches, so I'll just make this quick. An update from around the grounds thanks to MK Services SA. At the end of the first innings, West Torrens, who have not won a game yet, are up 3-0 on Walkerville.
Wow.
We'll hear from Kathy Lambert throughout the rest of this game, and then we'll hear from her at the completion of that game. Leroy?
Right, battery for the Hills. It's the Hills top hoods. Georgia pitching to Amber. At first base, Alex Mackey. Second base, Chantel Lewis. Peyton Daniels comes in at third base. And Danny Perez goes from third to shortstop. And the outfield from left to right, Mackenzie Ween, Maddie Rocha, Georgia Ballard.
All right, there you go. This is my first look at Peyton Daniels in a Hills uniform. Is it? Am I seeing that?
Yeah,
right?
and Peyton made the change in the off-season. She's actually registered to play for Hahndorf in the Hills competition.
Right.
So she plays for the Hills Heat, maybe for a local side.
Come across from Seacon.
Yeah, I've noticed, and I've been watching her and Munro develop over the last couple of years, and you know, they're a formidable young force. So hopefully her softball grows from the change. I know sometimes they're a good thing, and sometimes they just.
It's opportunity, isn't it?
I think she actually came across from Illinois,
Yeah.
the American Peyton Daniels.
He's just trying to catch us out there, Lee.
I think so. He would know
gotta
what the
watch it.
capital of Illinois is, I can tell you.
Jess Neves up to bat. We can see we've just been handed some information that we've already provided to our listeners.
Yeah, but it's got the hits, hasn't it?
High for a ball on Jess Neves.
You see in this game she's moved from second base to left field coach.
Yep, we've got an interesting stat on that, haven't we, in a moment, Lee? As Georgia Hood fires that one in there, just a little low.
Holds the ball funny for my liking, Georgia. I just caught that out of the corner of my eye, and I'm going to take some time to watch that. She's got a very different sort of style of holding the ball and lets it go on a real low and a bit of an angle. I don't know if that was the selected pitch, but that one's in there. She liked that one. Yeah, I like that one. I would have asked a question.
You get the same reply as the ball.
I wonder how many broken windows and dented cars and busted fence panels there would have been at the back of the Hood residence as these two were growing up.
That one's in
Amber
there
started
for a
opposite
strike.
pitcher, and obviously Tanya would have caught Georgia. Caught Amber, and then when Georgia come along, I think they decided between them as a family that somebody has to catch Georgia, and it becomes Amber.
Good pitch.
Full count now for Neves. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Payoff pitch is there for a called strike. Gee, Georgia looked happy with that, didn't she?
Was pumped. I think she was disappointed with her first strike not being called, and she really got after that third strike, didn't she? A small little celebration there.
Yeah, good start for the girls.
Normally when I see a third strike like that, I'm throwing the bat away and kicking the dirt and walking back to the bench.
Well, your co-commentator James Harris
Never
doesn't
sees him.
wait for the third. He's already hit the second over the fence.
I tell you what, she's peppering that low spot now, James, isn't she?
Gee, I should have been on the game here and brought out the speed gun. These two are firing it in hard. Yo Grower and Georgia Hood. Forrester, the new batter for Port Adelaide, swings at a high one.
And the Hills are defending that one run with gusto at the moment, aren't they? Georgia's fired up. I'm liking this game already, but it's a long way from the end.
Yes, it certainly is.
High for a ball. Well, gone to the well on the high pitch early on Forrester. She swung and missed at that one just a couple of pitches ago, so obviously a plan in place. Forrester, one of the state's exciting young players, around about 18 years of age this year, so
Change up.
yeah, that's a great change of pace, isn't it? We've seen Hood firing it in there for the first two batters and then gets her with the change. So 2 strikeouts to start from the young champ.
And I think they're only effective because she was zinging them in so low and so fast. And then you throw that one. Like when you're an off-pace pitcher, you don't get to have that, variation. Thanks, Lee.
I'm sure we'll see the variation from Grower later tonight. She's got the 2 change of pace. She's got the change up that's about 20 k's an hour slower than her fastest pitch, and then the one that comes in, it floats in
This hitter can hit
at
the
about
ball
60
very
k's an
hard,
hour.
Yo.
Just missing the outside edge.
Wow, that's a very good eye by Joanna Grower. Look at the determination and focus on her face, James.
She's a pro. That comes from the 4 years at UCLA, I'd say, in the US junior national team, in the Swedish senior team. And of course, the season that she had here last year was almost perfect, you'd say. She got over 40 votes in the Kath Coral medal count.
A lot of votes, mate.
They collect a lot of votes, Port Adelaide, with their imports, don't they? And they get good imports.
Head of the count. Here, Georgia with a change up, just missing the outside edge.
I wouldn't throw that again to this girl. I think it'll go. She'll put a motor on it if it comes again.
She's played 3 games, has 4 hits. The game she missed, we might talk about this in a moment. Michaela Yankovic on the bench for Port Adelaide, pitched a win. But always dangerous in the box here, Grower.
Well, she's going opposite side, and I think she's going opposite side convincingly as well. It's not like, I don't think she's behind. You can see that she's reaching across because Hood is setting up outside. They've thrown the change up outside, they've thrown a couple of drops outside, and she's deliberately going after him.
Well, they're keeping the ball away from her strength up the middle because the ball will go deep if they do that.
Now, obviously, I won't say this loud so the umpires don't hear, but she's wearing the smartwatch tonight. We've seen the recent rule change. She's heard me dobbing. That foul ball came straight back at our commentary desk. I've seen the rule change that a smartwatch is counted as a communication device. So we may see some players wearing the Fitbits and the smartwatches, but
well, you wouldn't want to watch it just in case you cop one in the arm, would you?
High pitch, gets under it, and it's a fly ball out to centre field, just out of reach of Maddie Rocher. It goes to right field. There's a play at second. Grower slides in hard, and Port Adelaide with a runner in scoring position.
Well, that was it was up there too. It was quite high. It didn't have the distance and the travel that I thought it was, but Grower did not take a foot off the accelerator. As soon as that ball touched the ground, she was already rounding first. I think she was going no matter what. It's just a bit of a fumble.
Lee, I mentioned, was it Sturt's outfield was in fairly shallow, with the Hills outfield too deep on this occasion?
I think so.
With Grower up the bat?
Well, it's the Texas League sort of shot, isn't it? It goes in no man's land. Look at the space between Georgia Ballard and Maddie Rocher in their positions.
Cara Tilton is the hitter for the Magpies. High for a ball. She started off the season very well. Tilton leading Port Adelaide with 5 hits on the season. Had 3 hits in their win against West Torrens. Just missing.
She didn't like that. She didn't like that hit. That's taken a little bit of zest
Off
out of Georgia. Yeah, she didn't like that, and she's sort of a little bit unsettled, I think. For the first 2 batters, she was right in there, but now she just needs to compose herself, get in there, and just go through a rhythm. There it is. Got a good long look.
So far, those edges have been consistent from the plate umpire in grey.
Yeah, I'm happy with his zone at the moment. There's nothing too outrageous when we look at the replays.
And that one just missing the outside edge as well. Timeout called. We'll have a courtesy runner, catch a speed up. Jess Neves will come in to run for Tilton.
Speed up runner.
We can see the number 7 on the back of Neves' shirt. Lee, we'll get to that in the next defensive inning. Megan Williams at the plate for the Magpies. That one is there for a strike. Now we've seen Williams over the last few years. She's been a great leader for this Magpies side. Very watchful early in a game as well. She'll watch a lot of pitches.
Will they go double still? That's my question.
Low for a ball.
You can see just before every pitch that Amber's just ducking out to the right there a little bit, just to the outside corner, and she's only missing just by a fraction. You're sitting there watching the monitor intensely, James. Is she far off?
I don't think they will still, because Johanna did not take any length off the base, just a couple of steps. I'll be going down as far as the nearest fielder on the steal. The nearest fielders are Danny Perez and Chantel Lewis, and they're not moving to second base on the pitch.
That one on the outside is just out of reach of catcher Amber Hood, and Yo Grauer makes it to third. Neves easily to second.
And that's why you get a big lead off as far as the nearest player, defensive player, in case the ball gets away.
You got this, chicken. I win it, Owen.
Low for a ball. Megan Williams walks. The bases loaded for the Magpies. Tash Straps will come in to bat as the Hills Heat take a timeout. Well, this gives Coach Sims an opportunity to speak to his batter, Tash Straps, who's been a very handy acquisition for Port Adelaide over the last couple of years. Has a hit in every one of the 4 games they've played so far this season, and we know she can hit.
Very reliable player, isn't she, Tash?
Yeah, Tash.
Absolutely. And the Hills Heat as well having a timeout. What do you think they would have discussed then?
Just settle things down. Don't panic if the ball's hit to you.
Yeah, this is the pressure now on Hills. They need to come out of this. Like I said to you, there's nothing. Yeah, Straps watches that one. The start of the innings means nothing. That run unless you can protect it. Now they're at risk here. 2 down, the first 2, and now we've got loaded bases with Straps on board.
It's a very good point you made earlier on, Mark.
Just lost her groove, hasn't she, after that hit? You mentioned that, Mark.
100%. Growler sort of just knocked it out. Because it wasn't a fierce hit, it was almost like a blooper. He can get you down. You just see her hit her leg there, so she knows she's out of rhythm. She just needs to take a deep breath and get back into it. Come on.
That one's in there to be hit, but pretty good batting from Tastraps, really forcing the Hoods to get that ball back into the zone.
Yeah, to throw extra pitches. That's what you've got to do. Bases are loaded. She knows where the runners are.
I think Coach Sims would have said to her, look, take as many as you want because there's a few loose ones out there. And that's just smart teamwork.
So back-to-back walks, and we've got a 3-1 count here. A little late on that one, trying to get the ball behind the runners.
There we go. That brings up the full count.
This is a great turn at bat, isn't it?
Is that the full count now? Yeah, it is. Yep. Full count. This is the one. So obviously they're all going to be going no matter what happens here. The runners, it's just a matter of location.
Take off.
This was Tastraps calls time. Just to sort of unsettle Hood again and take her out of her rhythm.
Being a pitcher herself, pitched many years as a junior. She knows the whys and wherefores.
And there it is. The first run for Port Adelaide is to a base on balls.
3 in a row.
And
Ties up the game.
That does tie up the game. It's funny that you say that. Exactly what the Port Adelaide bench is saying. That's 3 in a row, and that makes a visit to the mound by the coach of the Hills. Just have a bit of a chat to his troops and talk about.
Yeah, they need to really make sure that, one, they're in the strike zone, but two, the field is ready to go, because these hits should come from the bottom half of the order. The bottom few hitters are young guns in this Port team.
So talk us through it. You and I were just having a chat about this young lady before, Chillingworth. She's got 5 safe hits at the moment. You know, 2 in game 1, and then 2 in game 3. Nothing in game 4, not sure if she played, but she's on fire at the moment with 5 safe hits, leading or equal leader with her in her club. So this will be a very, very interesting at-bat league.
Certainly will.
This will do her confidence the world of good too, I think. And she's riding high, Chillingworth, so if she can get onto this one, this will really break the heat.
That one's in there for a called strike. Just what Coach Humphreys would have asked for, Lee.
Yeah, certainly. But 3 base on balls in a row, that's worrying, isn't it? Sure.
Hood settles in now.
Just missing.
Just missing the corner. You see Amber holding it there, knowing that it's very, very close and just trying to get that outside call. But he hasn't called them all night. He's been very tight in the zone, and I think it's a fair, even assessment so far.
Foul ball. Lee, Georgia started off with 2 strikeouts, then gave up that Texas Leaguer, 3 consecutive walks.
A bit of variety, James, isn't it? A bit of variety. But too much as far as the green team goes, but they'll settle in.
Well, there's that change up that we talked about before, but still missing that outside corner.
You always kind of feel that the calls go against you when you've given up a couple of walks, don't you? You're really desperate to fire one in. Ooh. Great cut from Chillingworth.
It's right now, James, in this part of the innings, that you start questioning, the whole innings isn't you question yourself, you just want to get away from the attention and get back into the dugout. Stay calm.
Strikeout swinging, it was a high pitch, and You heard that yell from Georgia. Yeah, she was pumped to get out of that with
meant
only one run.
Yeah, that meant a lot to her. She knows it because that meant a lot to the side. That evens the ball game up 1-1. That was a bit of a rocky start, but I think with the 3 base on ball, she'll work on, the 3 walks, she'll work on that next innings.
Yeah, it was a mixed innings, wasn't it, really? As you said, first 2 K2, then the hit from Johanna, and then the 3 base on ball, and then another K2 to finish off the innings. So we saw 7 batters.
Yeah, you don't want to be too harsh on any fielder, particularly when you could tell that she was trying to get to it. But, if that catch was taken, Hills have got all the momentum. Now you'd say momentum shifted a little bit towards Port Adelaide.
I was just about to ask you the question. Grauer came out and, she faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 batters. So we have a fly ball from the baseball behind us. So she faced 5. She's had a bit of a timeout now, so she would have spent, 15, 20 minutes calm down, cooling down. She's got to found her zone now. So it's a switch.
That's Danny Perez on screen. Will be the first hitter of the Hills heat, top of the second. You like that one, but probably a little bit of late decision, because she's probably looking to see one before she has a go. But you could tell that she was keen to get after that first one.
Yep. And Perez, another one in the Hills team that's got 5 safe hits.
Yeah, this competition this year has stepped up from previous years, haven't they? They've been trying to play catch up with these American import pitchers, and this year taking full advantage. Now that we've got players with multiple hits, more hits than games played, which is fantastic to see for the competition. This one fouled into the top of the back net.
And with Georgia down here all the time, now living down here, makes a huge difference.
That back net is tight. It's been worked on from PM Sports.
The ground is looking sensational.
Absolutely, some great work done around the diamonds in the off season, and yes, thanks to PM Sports, we got them in to tighten up the net from last year.
Follow the Softball SA Facebook page and notice there were some groundsmen out here today doing some practice runs with a home run fence.
Oh, can't wait for fully loaded action starting next Thursday night. High for a ball. It's good turn of bat so far from Perez. She really liked the look of the first one. She had a good cut and a foul off before, and has patiently watched 3 pitches go by for a ball.
Yeah,
full count.
100%. That's one thing I noticed about the difference between this year and last year is the patience.
Yeah, that was there to be hit and fouls it off.
The Hills batting has improved, I think, dramatically since the last time I've seen them. Probably got a lot to do with their coach throwing live at them.
Well, he's a very good male pitcher, isn't he? Scott in his own right.
Yeah, he does a very good job in the circle. We've got Peyton Daniels on deck now.
Yeah, Scotty's been a big name pitcher in the state for a while, actually. Multiple premierships in the NAMSA Association, and this year he's gone to the dark side. He's going to play for the Harndorf Magpies in the Hills competition.
Dark side, do you mean the colour of the uniform, or just that's what you call them?
Well, he'll be playing for the Magpies on Saturday. He's coaching against them tonight, so
okay.
Same name, different club. Runner.
Same horse, different jockey, you might say.
Runner on first, Danny Perez. Peyton Daniels in the box.
Was that a cover swing that didn't go right? Or are we looking at the old shape up and Peyton Daniels just trying to make contact?
Well, the girls with this place, the Yo's got just contact us and nothing. Plenty on it.
High for a ball.
Similar pitch. Stayed out of it.
You can see the big armband that each of the Hills Heat players are wearing. It has the signals This one's popped up. Tilton will take a good catch. Perez, gee, she looked like she almost was thinking about going then, didn't she?
Yeah, hesitated a lot, took 3-step. I think she was off the base. I'm not too sure if she tagged up. I think she was waiting for it, but that was definitely going to be a foul ball, no matter what. So you're
probably better off just hanging it on the base and see what happens.
And I can hear Grauer out there. She's so polite, asking if it would be okay if she changed the ball. We're a very well-mannered pitcher.
Well, you have a good relationship with the umpires, and they might throw a couple of extra votes your way.
Exactly how I went wrong.
Who knows? No, I think actually Tilton needs a bit of credit there. She kept her feet in that catch as well. Perhaps Perez was looking to see if Tilton went for a dive or to go to ground, and then she would have had to come up and then make a throw. Perez would have taken advantage of that. There's the steal, but the batter missed the ball. And so Perez thought differently and she went back, put the brakes on.
I'm just getting a bit concerned about this running from Danny at the moment. Hasn't caused any problems, though.
They called a ball on that. Did anyone see that she actually made an attempt to go for that? They called a ball on that.
The running situation, boys, just get around, put the ball in the play, let the runner move from that position.
There was no hesitation there. Perez made it all the way to second that time, and the ball went foul. So the signal was definitely on. She goes after that one too.
Big step and a big cut from Ween, just under it a little.
Yes, the green team just seem to be batting with a lot more confidence this year. It just comes with practice, doesn't it? You know, young people. They need the work, they need the practice, and the game time.
Fouls this one off, and this is a good battle, actually. Mackenzie doesn't look too far behind Yo Grauer, but she's been under it a little bit, so she needs to get on top of that ball. High, doesn't like that one at all. She shook her head at that one.
Yes, I know. And interesting if the umpire decided it was a strike. Something's going to happen on this pitch, I feel.
High, change up. Perez gets a big lead off. Pick off attempt from Tilton and tag made by Straps. But Perez, quick like a whippet. She's right back in there for a safe at first.
That was a very slow change up that too, wasn't it?
High for a ball.
Yes,
Great turn at bat.
It's run and change up then. You'd think the runner would have plenty of time to get back once he had a good look at it.
Well, it is
the lobs and the catches. Love.
full count for Ween. Good battle so far. That's low for a ball. Great turn at bat, and this ball just goes a little wild. Perez is going to take advantage of that ball that goes out to centre field. It was a walk, so an automatic base for Perez. Mackenzie Ween with the walk. She couldn't go that extra base because the ball was so close to second base, but gee, that's going to be a bit of a bonus for the Hills. He won out with runners at the corners.
Well, I think Cara, the catcher, saw her walk into second, tried to pick her off. When it was a base on ball, so she was forced to go.
Georgia Ballard is the 9 hitter. So failing a double play, we'll get to the top of the order for the Hills Heat with these two runners on base.
Well, that's the position that the Hills will want to see themselves. They will want someone on base when they bring up the Hood, Maddie, and Georgia. So
lays down the bunt. The runner comes off the base. But Grauer had one eye on her, one eye on the ball, and Perez couldn't really get too far off and get hosed at the plate, as they say.
Yeah, still a very good play. Got a 1-3 split at the top of the order. You got runners at second, you got runners at third, and you got top of the order back. Scoring position, it just takes one thing, doesn't it? And you can score 2 here quite comfortably.
Well, I think I'd be thinking about passing her up here to get to Maddie Rocha before she comes to Georgia Hood.
It's a big call though, Maddie's
Oh,
on,
it is,
you know,
it is.
second batter. And
Well, time will tell whether it's the right call or not.
High for a ball.
If she makes it land the Amber, it's going to be 2 runs.
Perez getting a massive lead off at third. Callahan playing right off the line as well, so she's safe from any pick-off attempt, Perez, so she can get as big a luck jump as she needs. That one is there for a called strike. Now, that's obviously tactical fielding because Yo Grauer is powering that ball down into the strike zone, and the Port defense obviously thinking that the Hills Heat will be late on the ball.
just switching around a little bit, James. Very good pickup too. This is a good little battle forming out here between Hood and Grauer.
The problem is when you're a good hard hitter of the ball like Amber, you want to have a real dip of it, don't you? You've got 2 runners in scoring position. I'm going to have a really good cut here.
Strikeout swinging, leaving the bases with 2 runners in scoring position. So missed opportunity for the Hills Heat and a great pitching inning for Yo Grauer, even though she gave it 2 walks.
It looked really dangerous, didn't it, for the black and white side, but got out of it.
Still have a 1-all ball game. We have heard from Kathy Lambert, so we can give you a score from around the grounds. Thanks to MK Services SA, West Torrens are up 4 runs to 1 against Walkerville. So if we have a look at the ladder, Lee, we can see this is 3rd versus 6th.
What does that do? What outcome? What effect will this have, James? So that gets West Torrens will get 3 points. Is it?
2 points for a win.
Points.
So they'll, if they can stay ahead in this game, they will. They'll still be in bottom, but they'll break that duck, won't they? They'll get some momentum, you'd think.
And confidence. Sure.
Well, they'll be 1 run behind Seacombe, and then depending on the outcome of tonight, they'll only be, if Hills are defeated, they'll only be 2 runs behind if they maintain that.
Points,
which then that starts to close up 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th, doesn't it? Yeah. It's amazing what can happen with a couple of wins and a couple of losses.
All right, let's get back to the action. Hills Heat versus Port Magpies. We are at the 8th hitter in the order for Port Adelaide and Charlize Callahan. This young star won the A-grade Rookie of the Year last year. Best performing first-year player in the competition. State under-16 representative, made a youth Aussie squad.
There's been a few good players taking that award out, so in good company.
Chops it down. Georgia Hood will field it easily, comfortably, and throw it across to first base.
Don't you like that? You get that come back like that when you're pitching. Just a comfortable height. Start the innings off like that.
Well, as we were talking about that, James pulled some stats out, which is unbelievable. So, Charlize Zali Adams the year before,
Pippa
Atkins, Maddie Scott, Georgia Hood, Natasha Straps is there, Kelsey Nucky, Maddie Cameron. So there's
some great names, huh? Yeah.
So, you know, she could go on, Charlize, to really make a name for herself here, and I hope she does.
Rain Menzies, speaking of young stars, played under 16s last year, will be a top age 16 player this year, so looking forward to seeing her in the state uniform, but we may lose her, Lee.
Yes, I believe the family's toying with the idea or thinking seriously about going to New Zealand to live. I don't know exactly when, James, but I hope she can play for the 16s. if she's selected, of course.
3-0 count. So good watching so far from young Rain. We'll go around to the top of the order for Port Adelaide with Neves. The next batter due up, a 4-ball walk to start off this.
I hope it was that at bat by Rain. Like you just said, she's an up-and-coming star, and she watched that, and she was very selective. She wasn't afraid to dig in a little bit, and she got the end result. She's on base.
It's a bit of a worry to me, boys, that Georgia can only pitch 4 balls to Rain, a new person for the game, I might say, at this level.
Bunt attempt, just rolls foul. Now, Lee, we were speaking before the game, Jess Neves playing out at left field, and if you're scoring at home, that position is number 7 on the diamond, Lee.
Right.
What else you got for us?
She's also uniform number 7, and if you spell her surname backwards, it says 7 as well.
Mark, you're impressed by that.
Oh, I don't know if it's safe for me to drive home tonight with all those mysterious things in the air. There's a bunt attempt again by number 7, Neves. She may have the stars aligned tonight, and hopefully she can get herself on deck.
Well,
only if she was batting 7.
Oh,
with the risk of repeating myself, sacrifice bunt is exactly that. Sacrifice yourself.
One
Leave
out.
your runner on.
Still showing
fancy
bunt
some
with
of
2
these
strikes.
bunts. Too fancy.
Change up from Georgia Hood.
just touching base on Neves again. If you're going to come up with some gold like that, just let me know and I'll just duck off for a quick toilet break and you can fill me in after the game.
I think to fill you in, we need the biggest backhoe you could find.
2-2 the count here. Inside.
That'd smart if it'd hit you.
Yeah, fancy footwork from Neves.
Yeah.
I would have taken that, Lee, for the team. Not my average, on base average or anything. I would have taken that for the team. It's a bit of a crucial moment in the game here. I can feel it sort of either swinging one way or another. This is the time, isn't it?
Runner on first is Menzies. Chops at this one. It's
Oh,
going to
nice
drop
little
in
hit, isn't it?
to right field, and oh gee, the players were all converging into one area. There it was, Ballard doing the fielding at right field. She came charging in, and Neves with a single advancing Menzies to second base.
You're 100%. Look, it's a lot easier to call that sort of movement from this position, okay? We've all been there, but that was almost like the ball drags you in and you leave your post, you leave your position. You need to go back to the bags, you need to hold your position and let the field, the right field or whatever, take it.
And the field couldn't do anything about that, could they?
This sacrifice bunt goes down. Georgia Hood over to Lewis and executes the sacrifice bunt for Ella Forrester, advancing Neves and Menzies to second and third respectively. Yo Grauer up to bat. Are we going to see an intentional
You
walk?
can't let her bat. You can walk her.
First is free.
I'm not letting her bat.
Goes after this one. Obviously thinking that, you know, I've got to take advantage of this at bat while I can.
Yeah, but I wouldn't let her bat. You got to pass her up. Ball lands here. Jess Neves is on second. She'll come home on the hit. Gets to the outfield. 2 runs will score. Not good value, that isn't, defensively.
What do you put that down to, Lee? Experience from the coach?
Experience or, I don't know, just playing it safe, thinking you can get her. Nature of the game, James and Mark, dictates what you should do. And here you should pass it up.
Well, not only do you say that, Lee, but one of the best in the business in this Premier League has commented at home saying, BB, I can only assume that means send her up to first.
Yeah.
Georgia Hood up to the task so far. High for a ball, and look like she's going to earn her, if she gets on, of course, she's going to earn it. And this at-bat, 3 balls and 1 strike. We saw a blooper at her last turn at bat. So although Grauer has the hit in the book, you'd say that Georgia Hood maybe has one on her at the moment. That is a ball.
Right, no harm done.
You see the difference between this innings where she pitched to her and last innings. Last innings she went after her. Georgia Hood went after her with passion and conviction. Here she was like, I'm just going to mix it up and move it around and see what happens. So call it 50-50 at the moment, Jim.
Good batting by Yo, though. She just held out of it.
She's
not chasing it.
She's smart. She knew what was happening. She wasn't going to chase after anything. She's too good of a batter.
Cara Tilton.
5 base on balls already for George.
High for a ball. And she walked a run in last inning with her 3rd consecutive walk. So Tilton was one of those walks. So she's already seen a lot of pitches so far in this game. Late on that swing.
Had a decent cut at that, didn't she, Cara?
Good pitch, low and in the zone. This one fouled up and out of the field of play.
Cara Tilton was going after that too. Number 4 batter for Port Adelaide Magpies. Knew the count and went after it. As Hood just takes her time now to get back into the circle and just calm down.
Timeout called from the catcher Amber Hood, just double checking the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's only the bottom of the 2nd. We've been going 47 minutes.
Yeah, this is a very tough game. I like it. You said it was going to be close. Georgia just taking a little bit extra time than she normally does as she gets settled here and looks for the call by Amber.
Not rushing through her work. That's good. Make the batters wait for you.
High for a ball, and this is a good turn at bat from Tilton with her 2 turns at bat. She's gone full count.
Cara Tilton, base on balls last at bat, James, so she's really taken it at the full depth, I suppose, as you can say.
This one just gets away from Alex Mackey at first. Neves turns second and will score 2 runs on the error. Great shot from Cara Tilton. It came off the bat hard. Mackey didn't have much time to have a look at that one. And Tilton brings 2 in. We've got a catcher speed up. Neves will do the running for Tilton yet again.
Hey, I don't think you can be too hard on Alex Mackey there. I think that came pretty hard. And that was a little hop just at her feet. You can't do much about that.
3-1 now in favour of Port Adelaide. Georgia feels a little hard done by it. Pretty close to the zone.
This is the score you predicted, Mark, 3-1, so congratulations.
Yep, I knew it would get to this score at some stage. Now this is you can't let this distract you now from pitching. I think the umpires have called a pretty consistent night, and if little things don't go your way, you just got to take it on board and just hit for the zone.
Cool.
Trusting your team.
And this batter, very patient hitter, Megan Williams, has a lot of walks already in this season and has a 3-0 count. I don't see the bat coming off her shoulder at all.
No.
That's only one. She needs a couple more. And I wouldn't be moving from that part of the zone.
Let it go over.
Yeah, look, I don't mind the passion that George is showing. She's got to be controlled passion and learn from it. And I think she will.
Good strike. Williams was keen to get
Yeah,
up the
ready to
line
throw
there.
The bat then, wasn't she? So there's a base on balls again. Back-to-back base on balls I'm looking for.
Well, that was on the high side for me. I think this will be the spot for Georgia now. If she can aim a little bit higher, maybe that's where he's calling tonight.
That one is ball 4. So 2 walks, a pair of walks for Megan
As
Williams.
the gate opens and time is called by the Hills Heat coach.
It's going to be Chantel, I think. Maybe.
Well, while the timeout is called and before we see what the changes are, just want to remind everyone that there's no A-grade games in the month of November on Wednesday nights, only Saturday broadcasts, and they start this Saturday. So we will see some Premier League action this Saturday. We're going to have a doubleheader, Sturt versus Hills, Walkerville, Port Adelaide. And next week, the action shifts from Wednesday night to Thursday night when the Premier League takes a break. And we're going to bring you fully loaded softball competition. Can't wait. We had such great fun last year. Got the new home run fence in. We had a player draft, so the teams will be announced soon. A new franchise owner this year in Community Bank at West Beach. And their team, the Cobras. The announcement will be made for that online shortly. And the Angels have got a new sponsor as well. Mark, what can you tell us? That sponsor was named earlier today.
Do, yes. The CPC, Commercial Partitions and Carpentry. It's a business that I'm familiar with. Getting on board, James. Put my hand up again this year to get on board and acquire a franchise, and we got on board with the Angels. So CPC, Commercial Partitions and Carpentry, jumped at the opportunity. I love what you're doing with softball here, and I'm a massive supporter of what you do and what this state is doing in softball. So I just want to support where I can and get behind any initiative that you guys put forward.
Amazing. And of course, MC Thunder are back.
Yeah, look out.
One of the top teams last year.
My rivals there, I think. I was back to take them on.
And we are very much looking forward to fully loaded starting next Thursday. So no Wednesday games for the entire month of November. Instead, tune in Thursday nights right here, thanks to Spacequake Sports and Softball SA. Back to the action. We have seen a change of pitches. Chantel Lewis. This is the first appearance for the season on the mound for Chantel, Lee.
Yeah, I think so. And she's come in from...
Oh, the runner
Runner's
goes,
gonna
the
go
girl
home.
goes, and she's got the cover.
Play at the plate. Safe is the call. So that first pitch just getting away from Amber Hood behind the plate. And a fourth run for Port Adelaide.
You called that right, Lee. You don't need to give her much, do you, James? And she goes. Wow, she was all over that.
It's a good pitch. That one's in there for a called strike. So the fielding change, Lewis from second base into pitch. Oh, this one chopped down from Straps, taken in fair territory from Peyton Daniels and fires it across for the third out. So Hills Heat managed to get out of the innings. They Led a lot of runners on base. There was 8 batters in the inning and they gave up 3 runs. So Port Adelaide, after 2, have a handy 4 runs to 1 lead.
Well, you wouldn't believe it, Lee, but you called it. 4-1, this is where you were.
4-2 I've got, mate. 4-2.
4-2?
Yep.
Sorry.
That's all right. You'll get it right eventually, mate. That's no worries. It's no big deal.
Kathy Lambert is giving us the score update from Diamond 2. So we'll go around the grounds thanks to MK Services SA. And we believe the Walkerville have made a comeback. And when the game is complete, we will speak to Kathy Lambert so she can give us the update on the game. So very special thanks to Kathy Lambert. She's over on Diamond 2. It's a bit colder over there. There's no protection from the weather, and there's no real breeze here, but there'll be a chill factor over there. Terrific, thanks guys. So
That's right, sorry, I'm just putting
this.
Port Adelaide have made a change, bringing Michaela Jankovic
Can't just, like, you're trying to update your folders and then...
at right field, and Rain Menzies has a rest. So that's the change. Sorry about that, James.
It's been good from Rain. She had a ball come out to her at right field early in the game, and then she had that crucial walk last inning. Maddie Rocher is the hitter. She had a sacrifice bunt, her first turn up at bat. High for a ball.
Grau just settling in. She's taking control of this. You know, she goes out there, doesn't she? She sort of has control. You can see it, you can sense it. Her team believes in her.
That one's in there for a called strike.
Tell me about Joanna Grau. Was she a pitcher back in the university days, or was she an all-round? Did she play somewhere else and just has the ability to pitch?
Is that to Lee?
Oh, it's to anyone that was happy to answer.
Well, I don't know personally.
You would know a little bit more, James, about it, do you? Yes?
Very good career at UCLA in the Pac-12 in the US college system, and then the US junior side as well. She graduated the year before they won the College World Championships. Great change up, but it's high.
That doesn't tell us if she did anything.
Yeah, I'm still at a loss, but she's holding her own here, and I'm impressed.
Got a lead-off walk for Maddie Rocher. Well, Grauer actually wore number 15 at UCLA when she played her 4 seasons. Doesn't look like she had many turns at bat. Mostly pitching stats. Career ERA of 3.4. No plate appearances over that career.
Okay.
You've got a job to do, and that's all you're there to do. She's doing a job here tonight for the Port Adelaide Magpies as Hood goes after that one, and Grau fires that one down.
Through the kitchen sink at it, didn't she, George?
Yeah, she wants revenge here. She wants to even the score, or settle the score.
Crushes this one to left field. Neves on her bike. That one is one bouncing into the left field fence. Rocher will turn third and will score for the Hills Heat. Georgia Hood, a stand-up double. She ripped that one left side, Lee.
Holy dooly. Lee is filling out his book, so I will fill in here if you don't mind, Lee. That was gone. You said she threw the kitchen sink out the first swing, and that went. That was a beautiful swing.
Second hit and second RBI of the game for Georgia Hood.
Tells you something about her as a batter, doesn't it?
Wowee. She's got a good career ahead of her, hasn't she, James?
She's already had a terrific career, Georgia Hood, been to 2 Junior Women's World Championships. The only other player that I'm aware of that's done that is Steph Drzezinski.
Yep. Look at the quality pitcher she's got these hits off.
Oh, yeah. That was beautiful. That was textbook swing.
Mackey joins the party. This one to the right side will go over right field head. That's Yankovic has just come into the game. Hood just strolls into home. She turns second for third and a stand-up triple.
Well, put your hand up and say congratulations to Mackey as she fires it across batter number 4, and that's why she's in that position. A stand-up triple, and it may make up for that little bit of an error at first, but don't take away from that hit. That was a thumper.
Well, that brings the Heat within 1 run, and with no outs here in the top of the third, Chantel Lewis has the opportunity to tie the game.
Now, this is what we wanted to see.
Quick reply, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Terrific.
So Chantel Lewis had a close look at that first one. Down and in for a ball. Coach Humphreys is having a word to his runner there at third base. That one's in there for a ball strike. Lee, would you consider bringing in one of the young players to run for Mackey? If you're not going to send her on a pass ball, you're going to bring in a kid to run for her, a bit of speed?
They could do. They've got 2 youngsters on the bench, James, so I see no reason why not. Good point, good pick up.
Low for a ball now. Chantel had a ground out in the first inning, a 5-3. That one cuts the inside edge for a called strike, evening up the count. Actually, it's a full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on third base. Low for a ball. Base on balls for Lewis. 2 runners on, runners at the corner. And timeout called from Port Adelaide. This is a great opportunity to welcome to the commentary position for the first time in the season Kathy Lambert. Welcome to the call team.
Thanks, James. Great to be back. And hello, Lee. And thanks,
Hello.
Mark, for helping out for the first part of that game.
Now, you've got an update thanks to MK Services SA. We're going to go around the grounds. And how did the game go over on Diamond 2 tonight?
It was very exciting. It was a hitting fest out there. But winner, I'll give some more details as we go along. But winner for the game between West Torrens and Walkerville was West Torrens 7-4.
7-4, so that's their first win of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And some great plays. Steph Drzezinski back on the diamond, not in a pitching capacity, but playing at right field, and Steph had 2 hits and 3 RBIs, so it's great to have her back out there.
Great game then from the young champ Steph Drzezinski, and you'll have to tell us through who else got hits in the game as we will call the action. We're back in. We can see that Hills Heat have gone to one of their young players. That's Ballard. Is the runner, Ruby Ballard.
Yep.
And Danny Perez up to bat. Chantel Lewis on first. Runners at the corners. No outs here in the top of the third. Bunt goes straight in the air. Chantel's got to come back. She's in no man's land. And a double play for Port Adelaide. And just like that, we've got 2 out. Kathy?
Yeah, so Cara Schultz had a couple of hits in there as well. Some good RBI hits by Cara, Sophie Hoyle, Steph Drzezinski, as I said, Jordan Lambert. Other hits from West Torrens were Faith Pickard. Jackie Beal had a triple. which set up the RBI from Jordan. That was very, very exciting. And from the Walkerville side, we had some great hits by Sophie Roberts, who had 2, Bianca Ramsey.
I saw some of the action early in the game. We saw Sophie King. She ripped one early in the game.
Yeah, Sophie King, Ash Merkin, Bianca Ramsey.
Peyton
Chelsea
Daniel.
Robinson had a nice hit out to 7 as well. So it was a real nice game in terms of plenty of hits, some really good defensive work as well.
Peyton Daniels in the box for the Hills Heat. And she just fouls that one off into right field. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ruby Ballard is the runner for the Hills Heat. And we've seen 2 runs from the Hills Heat in this inning, Kathy, to come back into the game. High pitch and swing and a miss.
Yeah, I could tell. It was quite an exciting game from the noise that was coming over to Diamond 2.
Smashes this left side. It's over the head of Neves. That's under the fence on the full. I thought it had the journey. Ballard scores from third. Daniel stands up at second. Great inning from the Hills Heat.
That was a massive hit. That wasn't far to go until it was over the fence. Fantastic from the youngster.
Thought that might have had the journey, Lee. That was a
Yeah,
great
certainly.
shot.
Yeah, you can tell by the sound that makes them of the ball on the bat of those pitches, especially off a quick pitcher like Johanna. Yeah, terrific shot from the young Peyton.
Well, Hills Heat gave up 3 in the bottom of the second. They made that pitching change. Chantel Lewis came in for that final out of the inning. And then just like that, the score is 4-all, Lee. High for a ball. Mackenzie Ween is the new hitter. Did we see any pitching battles? How'd the pitchers go over on that other diamond, Kathy?
What was really exciting, it was the battle of the youngsters. Sally started off for Walkerville, but then young Riley Moore came in and did a good job. But Izzy Benedictson took the reins for West Torrens tonight and did a fantastic job.
Izzy Benedictson would only be under 16 age group.
I
She
believe
pitched
so.
the entire game.
She pitched the entire game.
Fantastic.
Did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
I probably would have been about maybe 4 walks in total from her, but that would be the first time she's pitched a full game for A grade, I'm sure. So congratulations to her.
Wow, so a win for the Eagles. Thanks so much for bringing us that update, Kathy. It's great to have you back at the commentary desk. We're going to hear more of you throughout the season. Great change up from Grauer to get her side out of that inning, but she gave up 3 runs.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's going to be it's going to be a battle to the end here, I think. There's not going to be any easy wins in this competition by what I've seen so far in the first couple of weeks.
Well, after tonight's games, we'll see that we'll have a completed round, so everyone would have played each other once. And from what I can see on the ladder so far, it looks pretty even. You know, the top 4 sides have got around about 20 runs each. And the difference being Port Adelaide have only given up 6 prior to this game for the entire season. The 4 that the Hills have put on take that up to 10. But the Hills Heat would be the highest scoring team of the comp so far. 24 runs prior to tonight takes them up to 28.
Yeah, they've had some really good. They've had some good wins. I mean, Georgia Hood's been hitting the ball like it's there's no tomorrow. She's been seeing it really well and getting lots of extra base hits as this, the last couple of games. So
well, she's had 6 hits coming into this game, Kathy. We mentioned at the top of the show, plus 2 hits tonight with a couple of RBIs. So she's leading the competition at the moment for hits. She's playing right field. Last inning, Chantel Lewis moved from second into pitching. A walk that loaded the bases for Danny Perez, and it was the Ice Queen herself, Johanna Grauer, throwing a strikeout to end the innings. We've got a tied game and we go into the bottom of the 4th. Kathy Lambert and Lee Hull stuck in with us here. Strikeout for the first out at the bottom of the 4th.
Yeah, and what a great great hit by Yo Grauer to start off this inning to try and get their team ahead for the last opportunity here. Hard hit out to center field. Yeah, so she's looking for the rest of her team here to bring her around.
It's a great game, isn't it, Kath? Glad we're back on here because we don't want to miss this finish. Still a lot to be played out in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I hope you've all stuck with us and not given up because this is a real cracker here.
The skill combat, Megan Williams. I'm telling you, this will be a good time to do it.
Well, she's been quite patient tonight, Megan Williams. She's had a couple of walks. She's been good in the field as well.
Yeah, really playing a real solid game. What I've seen, I've only been here for the last couple of innings, but really solid and calm under pressure. I like that kind of play.
Low for a ball.
Pressure comes back to the middle, doesn't it? Comes back to the pitcher. Runner on, she knows the winning runner's at first. To stop her getting the next base.
And a very experienced player there at first as well, so don't need to keep an eye on her if Megan gets a hit on the ground here.
Certainly.
A third walk for Williams. Grauer didn't need to leave her base at all then. And she will advance to second. So game-winning run on second base. There's one out. New hitter is Tash Straps.
Who can also hit.
Capable batter for the Magpies.
And how's Tash gone for the night here, guys?
A walk and a ground out. Great play from Peyton Daniels on the foul line. Tash Straps' walk in the first inning scored Yo Grauer for Port's first run of the game.
Yeah, very experienced player, Tash. She's been around a long time. Hard to believe she's only in her early 20s.
Hard swing and a miss. We mentioned the previous or winners of the Rookie of the Year award. Tash Straps won that award playing for Seacombe Tigers. She moved across to Sturt, found her way to Port Adelaide. She's got a home here. She's such a versatile player. Great edge. That's the second out.
Right through the knees there. Great position there, Georgia Hood.
With a winning run on second, you just can't. You've got to have a dip at it, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. That brings up Taylor Chillingworth.
There's two out now. Scores are tied. Taylor Chillingworth, the batter. Georgia Hood fires that one in there for a strike. Important to get ahead of the count early when the game is on the line.
Yeah, Georgia's got to remain calm here. Back herself. Back her team behind her.
Great shot, Taylor, a single to left field. Mackenzie Ween comes up with a throw home. Bases are now loaded. Hills Heat in the right position there, out at left field.
Would like to see the pitch at Georgia Hood coming to a backup position then. Alex Mackey was aware of it, so she came down from first. Because if that ball, which was airborne, was up pretty high, if Amber doesn't catch it, there's the game there. And then, game's over then.
Taylor Chillingworth was in under 16 state team last season. She'll move up to under 18s this year. Has 6 hits for the season.
Wow. Look, I remember watching this Port Adelaide team last year and just being so excited about the next couple of years with them. There's so many youngsters and they're just getting better and better every game. And obviously starting off the season so well.
Swing and a miss, Charlize Callahan. This will be the last hitter of the game. We are tied 5-5. The bases are loaded and there are 2 outs. Yankovic is on deck, ready to go, but she won't be required. This is a battle between Hood and Callahan. fouls this one off.
Bit high there. And Charlize had a tripler last time at bat, so again, just got to take a lot of confidence out of that and back herself.
The thing she must not do is go down looking here.
Hills Heat, Port Magpies.
Oh, Lee, you just said it.
Strikeout watching.
What a game, guys. That was fantastic.
Hills Heat fought and they came back and they fought again. Alex Mackey with a single tying up the game at the top of this inning. And then cold as ice. Wow. Georgia Hood with a strikeout to end the game, a tied game. Credit to Port Adelaide. Gee, they had some great discipline turn at bats and some great shots as well.
Yeah, very exciting. I only saw the last couple of innings, and I'll get Mark to say a few things in a minute as well. But the noise from the whole game from Diamond 2 just showed that this was close and exciting, and that didn't disappoint when I came here. Very, very exciting and confident batters. Swinging hard and making some good hits and making good contact.
It had a lot of hits, a lot of base on balls, a few strikeouts, but it had everything that game. Terrific game to watch.
Thanks so much to Kathy. That's back-to-back draws for the Port Magpies and for the Hills Heat. They managed to salvage a point with that, and they've now won 2, drawn 1 and lost 2. We're shaking hands today, first time in a while after COVID. Guys, let's talk about players of the game. We saw that Yo Grauer for Port Adelaide had 2 hits, but for mine, I think Georgia Hood maybe outplayed Grauer tonight, but Alex Mackey, what a key hit late in the game.
Yeah, look, I agree. I also like Peyton Daniels. Peyton Daniels set it up, and then Mackey come through and followed it up, and that's what advanced the runners around. Very, very exciting for the Hills there in the young'uns, and I really like the young ones coming through.
Georgia Hood, 2 hits, an intentional walk, 2 RBIs. Alex Mackey, a sacrifice bunt, 2 hits, 2 RBIs, including the game-tying run. You flip it over, and Megan Williams was solid in the field, 3 walks. Yo Grauer, 2 hits and a walk. She scored as well. So
a lot of contributors, wasn't there, in that game?
Yeah.
It was a good even platform. I think you'll see that if we look through we've been looking at that, it's a good even platform, and that's good signs for both sides.
Callahan went down looking for the last out of the game. She had a triple and scored in the 3rd inning. So you're right, the contributions for both teams just went throughout. So for mine, I'm going to give it to well, I might even give it to 2. Give it to Georgia and Alex. They really contributed, saved the game. Both had a couple of hits and RBIs. That was the difference between Grauer's performance.
Good work.
Well, thanks very much to Spacequake Sports for getting us back up for the end of that game. Thank you to Kathy for bringing us the updates on Diamond 2 throughout the evening. And to Lee and Mark, thanks for sticking with us, guys. And we give it our all. We're all volunteers here, aren't we? We give up our time. So thanks for all the positive comments and support that we're getting from social media and, of course, the broadcast partners. So any closing comments, gentlemen?
No, thank you. Very exciting game. I was looking forward to it, and it was it didn't let us down.
No, it didn't at all. It was very good entertainment.
All right, well, we will see you on Saturday for more Premier League action, and then next Thursday night, it's round 1 of the fully loaded competition. Thank you so much for joining us, and good night.
Good night.
Good night.